On a bright and peaceful morning, a small rabbit named Nico hopped along the shoreline. The ocean stretched endlessly before him, its waves crashing against the golden sand. He had never been this close to the sea before. The salty air was new, the soft sand different from the grassy fields he called home. As he explored, something unusual caught his eye, strange markings in the sand, leading toward the rocks. Following the trail, Nico hopped closer, and then he saw it. A small, reddish-purple octopus lay stranded on the hot sand, its tentacles weakly curling. Its skin, normally smooth and moist, was beginning to dry under the sun. It must have been caught in a strong wave and washed ashore. Octopuses are incredible sea creatures, intelligent, adaptable, and capable of changing color to blend into their surroundings. But out of the water, they are helpless. Without moisture, they cannot breathe. The octopus needed help. And fast. Nico knew he had to act quickly. But how could a small rabbit help a sea creature? He tried pushing the octopus with his tiny paws, but it barely moved. The ocean was too far to carry it alone. He looked around, thinking. In nature, survival often depends on using what's available. Then, he had an idea. He could dig a shallow hole and bring water to the octopus. With his powerful hind legs, Nico began digging. Sand flew as he worked, creating a small pit to hold water. But digging was just the first step. Now, he needed to find a way to bring the water. Water was essential for the octopus's survival, but Nico had no way to carry it. Then, he noticed something nearby, a large seashell, smooth and curved. He rushed over and scooped it up in his teeth. Carefully, he ran to the shoreline, letting the waves fill the shell. Water splashed as he hurried back, but he managed to pour enough into the pit. The octopus's tentacles twitched as the cool water touched its skin. It wasn't enough to save it yet, but it was a start. Nico realized he couldn't do this alone. He needed help. Scanning the beach, he saw a flock of seagulls perched nearby. They were noisy birds, always alert. If he could get their attention, maybe they could help. Nico thumped his strong hind legs against the ground, thump. 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 The vibration carried through the sand. The seagulls turned, curious. Then, Nico dug at the sand near the octopus, trying to show them the problem. One seagull, larger than the rest, flapped down and examined the struggling octopus. It understood. The seagulls began squawking loudly, signaling others to come. Help was on the way. With the seagulls now paying attention, Nico had to think of a plan. He needed to get the octopus back to the ocean, but dragging it was too dangerous, it might injure the delicate creature. Then, another idea struck him. The seagulls were strong flyers. If they could lift part of the octopus's body, he could help push it toward the shallow water. The large seagull carefully grabbed one of the octopus's tentacles, while Nico pushed from below. The octopus, weak but responsive, tried to help by moving slightly toward the sea. Slowly, inch by inch, they made progress. They were close now. The wet sand beneath them signaled the ocean's edge. The waves rolled closer, reaching out like gentle hands. With one final effort, the octopus stretched its tentacles toward the water. The next wave surged forward, wrapping around the creature and lifting it slightly. Nico and the seagull gave one last push, and suddenly, the octopus was free. The water embraced it, pulling it safely into the shallows. For a moment, the octopus remained in the shallows, its tentacles swirling in the water. It seemed to look at Nico, its large eyes filled with silent gratitude. Then, with a sudden burst of energy, it changed color, from pale to a deep, brilliant blue, a sign of excitement and relief. With a final ripple, it disappeared into the deeper ocean, free once more. Nico watched, his heart swelling with happiness. He had saved a life today. As Nico turned to leave, he realized something important. Strength wasn't just about power, it was about using what you had to help others. Even the smallest creature could make a difference. And sometimes, the best way to survive wasn't alone, but together. As the sun set, Nico hopped back toward the fields, knowing he would never forget the day he rescued an octopus.